Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Rawan. I study at Kuwait University, College of Education and specifically in English department. I'll be the presenter of today's presentation and I hope you'll enjoy. Just keep watching. Using technology in the classroom enables teachers and students to find the new conclusion of daily life problems and helps to create a better educational syllabus, learning materials and future products and services, also to create a new and innovative practical syllabus and to improve students' data management and analysis and performance reporting and teachers' training programs. And as we know, technology is inspiring kids to become creative and innovative. Creativity and innovation will make students successful in their career and lives, and it's also help the students and teachers in the process of receiving and giving education systematically. Educators and learners around the world can connect with each other on various internet platforms. For such benefits, it's important to use technology in education. And as we know, we are living now in a technological era. Everything is done with technology, and our kids, they cannot do anything without technology. Actually, technology keeps you with the latest information about your surrounding and your life, and it provides you the daily news around the world, and it makes the world look so smaller than it was. Tablets are replacing our textbooks, and we can research just about anything that we want to on our smartphones. Social media has become a commonplace, and the way we use technology has completely transformed the way we live our lives. As a teacher, you should use technology in your classroom in order to activate your classroom and to make it more interesting, not utterly boring for your students. Now, in the technological era, everything is done with technology, and our kids love using technology. Try to use a type of tablet or iPad to put on your information, and the lesson will be more interesting. And according to a study by IT Trade Association Company just released this month, around 75% of educators think that technology has a positive impact in educational processes, and educators also recognize the importance of developing these technological skills in the students so they will be prepared to enter the workplace once they complete their schooling. And as we know, there are a lot of kids with special cases, with special conditions and abilities, and in order to help them in the process of learning, we should use the technology to help them to think more and to communicate with the outside world in a very perfect way in order to connect them with their societies and never to let them far away from the society. Seymour Papert is an educator who used technology and used the theories that shows the impact of technology on learning theories, and he was watching on children's how much does technology affect their achievements. That's why we chose him today, and we should be thankful and grateful because he make our lessons more interesting. Who is Seymour Papert? Seymour Papert was a South African who was born in America, and he was a mathematician, computer scientist, and an educator who spent the most of his career teaching and researching at the MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Papert studied at the University of Witwatersrand, and he received a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy in 1949. He received 2 PhDs, both of them were in mathematics. The first one was in 1952 and the second in 1959 in Cambridge in England. His career, he worked as a researcher in a variety of places, such as St. John's College, Cambridge, the Henry Bunneker Institute at the University of Geneva, and the National Physical Laboratory in London. Then, he became the MIT Artificial Intelligence Laboratory until 1981, and he served as Cecil Ada Green Professor of Education at the MIT from 1974 to 1981. Papert worked on learning theories and was known for focusing on learning on the impact of new technologies on learning in general and in schools as learning organizations in particular. Also, Papert worked with Piaget at the University of Geneva and was one of his students, and Piaget himself once said, "No one understands my ideas as well as Papert." As a part of his work with technology, Papert has been a proponent of the knowledge machine, and he was one of the principals for the One Laptop Per Child initiative to manufacture and distribute the children's machine in developing nations. Papert also collaborated with the construction toy manufacturer Lego on their Lego programmable Lego Mindstorms robotics kits, which were named after his groundbreaking 1980 book. At MIT, Papert went on to create the Epistemology and Learning Research Group at the MIT Architecture Machine Group, which later became the MIT Media Lab, and here he was the developer of the theory on learning called Constructionism, built upon the work of Jean Piaget and constructivist learning theories. And as we mentioned, he was one of Piaget's proteges, means one of his students, and Piaget himself once said, "No one understands my ideas as well as Papert." Papert has rethought how schools should work and based on these theories of learning. Papert used Piaget's work in his development of the Logo programming language while he was at the MIT. He created a logo as a tool to improve the way children think and solve problems. A small mobile robot called the Logo Turtle was developed, and the children were shown how to use it to solve simple problems in an environment of play. A main purpose of the Logo Foundation Research Group is to strengthen the ability to learn knowledge. Papert insisted a simple language or program that children can learn, like Logo, can also have advanced functionality for expert users. Papert's work has been used by other researchers in the field of education and computer science. He influenced the work of Walensky in the design of NetLogo and collaborated with him on the study of knowledge restrictions, as well as the work of Andrea and the development of the day naturalists. In 1981, Papert, along with several others in the Logo group at MIT, started the Logo computer system, and which has been board chair for over 20 years, working with the LCSI. Papert designed a number of award-winning programs, including the Logo Writer and Lego and Logo, marketed as a Lego Mindstorms. He also influenced the research of Edith Harrell Caperton, co-authoring articles and the book Constructionism, and chairing the advisory board of the company Mama Media. He also influenced Alan Kay and the Dying Book concept and worked with Kay on various projects. And finally, the MIT president L. Raphael Reif summarized Papert's lifetime of accomplishments with a mind of extraordinary range and creativity. Seymour Papert held at least 3 fields, from the study of how children make sense of the world to the development of artificial intelligence. To the rich intersection of technology and learning, the stamp he left on MIT is profound, and today, as MIT continues to expand its reach and deepen its works in digital learning, I am really grateful for Seymour's groundbreaking vision, and we hope to build on his ideas to open doors to learners of all ages around the world. About his rewards, he won the Guggenheim Fellowship for Social Science US and Canada, and also he won the Marconi Prize, and he was named as Top 10 Innovators of Education, and he won the Smithsonian Award from the computer world. His sayings: "The role of the teacher is to create the conditions for invention rather than provide a ready-made knowledge." And once he said, "I am convinced that the best learning takes place when the learner takes charge." And then he said, "You cannot teach people everything they need to know. The best you can do is to position them where they can find what they want and what they need to know when they need to know it." And more of his sayings, the reason most kids don't like school is not the work is too hard, but it is utterly boring. And then he mentioned that you cannot think about thinking without thinking about something. Winkles the Heart, it is an American series. It talks about an American girl called Elizabeth Thatcher. She is a teacher who lived in Hamilton and born there. She is a very wealthy lady, but she moved in a border area or a valley which called the city of Coal Valley and later Hope Valley. This city is very poor and Elizabeth Thatcher were very rich. Elizabeth Thatcher tried her best to make the students well prepared for the school. She set all the right conditions for them. Although she was very rich, she can give them a lot of books and things and she can pay them money to study outside this Hope Valley, but she did her best to set the conditions in their homeland places to help them to study very well as the other normal kids. The timeline of his life: in 1928 he was born. In 1949 he got his BA in philosophy. In 1954 to 58 he studied at Cambridge, the University of England. In 1960s to 63 he did a lot of work in his field and he wrote a book with Marvin Minsky called Perceptrons. 1974 he became professor of education at MIT. In 1980 to 85, he and Minsky became members of MIT. 1990, he moved to Maine and continued his work in education at MIT. 1979 to 99, he published The Learning Barn and the Seymour Papert Institute. 2001, he got so many awards like the Smithsonian and Top 10 Innovators of Education. 2006, he got his accident and 2016, he passed away. He was a leading figure in the revolutionary socialist circle around the Socialist Review while living in London in 1950s, and Papert was also a prominent activist against the South African apartheid policies during his university education. His marriage life: Papert was married to 4 ladies. The first one was Donna Strass and then Androlla Enriquez, and his third wife was the MIT professor Sherry Turlock, and together they wrote the influential paper Epistemological Pluralism and the Revolution of the Concrete. And in his final 24 years, Papert was married to Susan Macy, who is a Russian scholar and author, and she wrote about the life of a Russian palace and land of Firebird. His death: he received a serious brain injury when struck by a motor scooter on December 2006 while crossing the street with a colleague of his own in Hanoi, and then he was transferred to a complex operation by Swiss Air ambulance, and then he moved to a hospital near his home in 2007. And by 2008, he had returned home, could think and communicate clearly and walk almost unaided, but still had some complicated speech problems. And Papert was died at his home in Blue Hill, Maine on July 31, 2006, on aged 88. At the end, guys, we should be thankful to Seymour Papert, who had merged the technology into education and make it much easier to us as an educators and as teachers. So be thankful to him and may peace upon him. Thank you guys for your good watching, and I hope you get benefit with every single information that is provided to you here.